Depending upon the time this video comes out, it may be the day of or a couple days past the 4-year anniversary of my channel. On September 19th, 2015, I uploaded The Daily Life of a Noob, which has gone on to be one of my most popular videos to date. So, I thought I'd celebrate my 4-year anniversary. Even though I've gained pretty much no traction in the 4 years, I decided to do a little something special. Now, I must apologize if my voice sounds a bit weird. I am sick right now. Some kid on the bus got me sick who sits behind me. But nevertheless, I've decided to do a little special video. Out of all my 4 years, I have done plenty of videos. I've done plenty of things on my server. I have written a couple of books. And I've done plenty of things with my friends that are all memorable. However, there are, believe it or not, lost pieces of Mega Mastermind media. Pieces of media that are mostly forgotten today. Well, mostly forgotten by everyone except me, of course. And I'm going to be counting down the top 5 pieces of lost Mega Mastermind media. Now, what do I define as lost? Lost means, as I said, totally or at least mostly forgotten by most of my friends or a few fans I've had over the years. Now, these don't all have to be videos, and not all of them are. These are just pieces of some kind of media I have put on the internet that are mostly forgotten about to this day, or in some cases, people don't even know they exist. So, let's get this thing started. The Game Night Episode 1. We're starting out strong here. The Game Night was a series I did back in spring of 2016 that featured everyone's favorite Minecraft hero, Game Night 999, or at least my interpretation of him. The series was based off a popular cartoon show from the early 2000s called The Batman, which was sort of a spin-off of Batman the Animated Series, although it was mostly its own thing, and to this day is still one of my favorite Batman animated shows to date. The Game Night was an odd series. It was done on Megacraft at the time, and acted by my friends with actual voice acting. Knight himself was played by my friend Jacob, while people like Vicente, Noah, and other people at the time that are no longer part of my group today, acted in the 3 episodes that this series consisted of. Now, a lot of people remember episode 2 because of the meme and joke that came out of it, with Alan straight up dying in the first 10 seconds from Malakota, which was still one of my favorite things to film. And of course, a lot of my friends remember episode 3 as the actual first appearance of Herobrine in Mega Mastermind history, a half a year before Quest came out. Yeah, that Herobrine had half red hair. I don't know what I was thinking when I designed that skin of him. But believe it or not, a lot of people don't remember episode 1 of the Game Night. It came out sometime in mid-April, and it was an idea I had after getting bored and decided I wanted to start filming machinima-like movies again like I had done in late 2015. But I decided I wanted to take it up a notch and have actual voice acting and make them 15-minute long episodes. And since I still had ties with Game Night and was a fan of the series, I decided to do my own interpretation. It was supposed to be a modern-based thing set in a city, Mine City at the time, with Game Night going out and fighting crime at night while also being in high school. I know, it was a straight-up rip-off of Batman. But episode 1, how many of you actually remember episode 1? From what I remember, not a lot of people who, as I said, are with my group today are actually in it. episode's largely forgotten. The episode started out with two thugs on a rooftop getting away from robbing a bank. They had gotten pretty far, but then Game Night, whose real name was Tommy Fenman, as I took that from the book, came in and beat the living hell out of the two crooks and left them for the police. The episode then later goes on to introduce what were supposed to be the main characters throughout the series, including Game Night's best friend Sean, and Snoopy Girl 11, who also made an appearance in the series. However, even though the episode is forgotten, what's most memorable for me about it was Erebus, the villain in the episode. He was supposed to essentially be the Joker, and he pretty much sounded like it too. I voiced Erebus while I'm pretty sure Vicente played him. Erebus in the books is the king of the Endermen, but in this episode he was also an Enderman, but a criminal as well. He broke a bunch of criminals out of prison and forced Game Night to go after him. What was interesting is during the finale of the episode, Game Night didn't even beat Erebus. The rain did. It started raining, and I decided to use that in the story because Endermen are weak to water. The episode was pretty short, and I honestly don't remember much of what happened during the middle of the episode, just the beginning and the very ending of it. It ends with Erebus locked in an obsidian cell, saying that he will return someday. Which begs the question, since he's an Enderman, why didn't he just teleport out? I don't know. Anyway, there's a reason this piece was forgotten, and it's simply because it just wasn't as memorable as the two following episodes that came after. Even so, after the third episode, I decided to cancel the series simply because it took way too long to make, and at that time, all I had was my crappy 2007 Mac, which, as you can imagine, was not very good. The entire origin era of Megacraft. This one is definitely something. It's not a video, it's an entire era. That's right, I'm putting an entire time period on the server on this list. Now there's a good reason for that. It is not only the most forgotten era in Megacraft history, but it's also the shortest, only lasting about 2 weeks. If you can recall, 2 years ago, from my Megacraft retrospective video, I briefly touched upon the origin era. It was obviously, hence the name, the first era ever in Megacraft, and it started the day I created the server, November 24th, 2017. It was a great era for its time. It was supposed to be modeled after the Game Night 999 server, which I had really made Megacraft to have a home for players on that. The spawn was, I think, a unique style, and it was actually helped build by Sean. Sean helped build the spawn. It was a lapis island in the sky, which with 4 branching pathways and a circular center to it. Players, once I had gotten the proper plugins installed, players would be able to go through portals on the 4 branching pathways to get to the various areas of the server. Out of the things built there, we built a PvP arena, we built a few houses, and we built one big house that me, Cole, Alan, and a few other people played hide and seek in, and I still remember that to this day as one of the most fun times I had in Minecraft. But, as you may have already known, the Megacraft origin era came to an abrupt end when the first player on the server, who I had also given OP powers to because I wanted to make him a staff, Liam, aka Waffleman27, decided it would be a great idea to make 9 worlds using multiverse on a server that ran on 512 megabytes of RAM, which is not a lot. So as you can imagine, my server could not handle it and the entire thing crashed after just 2 weeks of being open. After that, we all returned to game night until February, where I got the server back up and re-emerged with the Dome era. So not a lot happened during the Origin era, but we did have some key players from game night on, including Mark and game night himself. So why was this era forgotten? Well, for a simple reason. Many of the players who were active during the Origin era are no longer active today. Out of the friends I have, only really Jacob and Sean were the only ones that were on during the Origin era that are still with me today. Liam and I had a falling out for a very stupid reason back in September of 2017, and the other friends I had on GameNet at the time were just, well, we stopped communicating years ago. All in all, the reason it's forgotten is because not a lot of people, especially my friends today, know what it was like. Noah, Alan, and Cole didn't come around until the Dome era, and Vicente came even later during the Factions era. And then there's my friends from school who of course may or may not even know about it. All in all, the Origin era was the first era of Megacraft, and it was more of a trial and error era, with a lot of error thanks to Liam. But it remains the most forgotten era in Megacraft history, simply because no one today knows about it, except for Jacob and Sean, who, let's be honest, I don't even know how much they remember about it. The Game Night vs. Erebus animation. So far, all three of the things on this list have everything to do with Game Night, but this probably has the most to do with Game Night. Y'all remember Minimator, that Minecraft animation tool that I don't even know if people use to this day, but a lot of people used to use it? Well, I got it once, and I decided to make an animation of Game Night fighting Erebus from the books. But, as I learned, animation is freaking hard. So, the animation ended up being a 5-second long little piece of crap thing with a model of Game Night swinging his sword down at Erebus and killing him instantly, and then him jumping up in the air. This animation lasted 5 seconds, and it was set in the backdrop of the end. And that was the epic battle of Game Night vs. Erebus. Pretty stoked, I know. Now, this animation is largely forgotten about today. In fact, I even forgot I made it until I think it was Alan brought it up. Now, Alan obviously knows about it, but I don't think too many other people remember this thing. If I can recall, I made it in early 2016, and I left it up on my channel for a few months before deciding it was crap and deleting it. All in all, this animation took way too long to make for 5 seconds, and in my opinion, an hour to make a 5-second animation is just not worth it, and that's pretty much what ended my dream of an animation career right there. And keep in mind, I was using Minimator, and that was supposed to be for basic beginners. Which begs the question, I used to have a friend named Lilia. How the hell was she able to make full-on Minimator animations? And it took me an hour to make a 5-second one. I don't know, but that is mostly forgotten about to this day. However, one keynote thing that I clearly remember, for a while it was up, that was my most disliked video ever, simply because of how lazy and shoddy it was, and how I advertised it as a full animation. I was clickbaiting even back then, too. The Mega Mastermind fan art contest. Yeah, you heard me correctly. That was a thing that I did. For a while, in early 2017, I was kind of obsessed with art. I had followed a lot of aspiring artists, usually young ones, on Twitter, and I thought their art was really good, and I longed for some fan art of my own. So in order to accomplish this, I decided to tell everyone that I was doing a fan art contest, and the winner would get, well, some kind of prize on Megacraft that I honestly forgot. I think it was diamonds or something. Anyway, I got a lot of people to draw me fan art, including Liam, Vicente, Alan. I don't know if Noah drew me any. I don't remember. Jacob did. And I think there was 2 more, but I honestly forget. Oh yeah, Claire at the time drew me some. Anyway, this contest was definitely interesting in the fact that for the first time I got to see my friends' artistic abilities, which besides a couple were, how do I put this, not very good. I actually think I put Vicente at dead last. Sorry, Vicente. But I did a video where I ranked everyone's fan art, and Claire, who was my most artistically talented friend at the time, ended up getting second because I liked Alan's better. And if I recall, he drew a picture of me in Skywars throwing eggs at Jacob, who I was he drew fan art of another video of his Skywars where I was throwing eggs at Jacob to get him to fall off, which was a nice thing to look back on. Anyway, I forgot about the fan art contest entirely until I came up with the idea for this video. Now, I know a lot of other people have forgotten about it because it's never been mentioned. In fact, a few months back when I even said, because I'd remembered it then too, but forgotten about it since, I even said, anyone remember the fan art contest? And believe it or not, Alan did because he won, but most other people didn't. So I had to jog their memory. Now looking back, I did the whole thing out of jealousy and greed because so many other YouTubers that I was watching were getting really nice fan art, and I, with my less than 100 subscribers at the time, decided I needed some of my own. It was greed, sure, but it got me some free art that I do not keep to this day because all the digital copies I had of it haven't been lost to time. Either way, this was during a time where I was really greedy and acted like a big time jerk a lot, and I'm glad I'm not that same person. Either way, the fan art contest remains a good lost piece of media in Mega Mastermind history to show that I can grow and change and develop from what I used to be. The Minecraft movie. You heard me correctly, movie. This is a unique lost piece of media, and there's a reason why it makes the #1 spot. And that reason is, it was a video that was never made. Let me put it this way, it was never uploaded. Now, I've had a few videos that I've made and decided to scrap, but this one takes the cake because it's special. In the summer of 2016, instead of finishing the game night, the other reason why I canceled it was instead of doing multiple episodes, I decided I want to make a movie in Minecraft, a feature-length, hour-long movie. Now, what I'm about to say will probably be the most cringeworthy thing you will ever hear, but at that time, I was obsessed with a little game called Undertale, and I was gonna make Undertale characters go into Minecraft and meet Megacraft characters. I can't even say that with a straight face. I was a pretty odd guy at that time. But anyway, I had built various sets for that movie which would all be filmed on Megacraft, including a giant tower in the Slime Fun world, which was supposed to be Herobrine's tower. Yes, Herobrine was going to be the villain of the movie, and once again, it was the half-red hair model of Herobrine. I had built that tower for the movie originally, but I ended up using it for the third episode of the game night as well. Anyway, I got pretty far along with the movie. I had written up full scripts and everything, and I had actually filmed a couple of scenes using my friends as actors and voice actors. But after the game night episode 3, I decided to scrap the movie for 2 reasons. One, people were losing interest, and so was I. It was getting harder and harder to do, and plus I had a few summer camps going on, so I didn't really have a lot of time to do it. And I was just lazy. But the other reason I scrapped it is because, well, I had already gotten the idea for a little thing called Quest to Save the World, and decided that would be a much better story than a Minecraft Undertale crossover. So I scrapped the movie, but I had filmed a total of 5 scenes, complete scenes, music and everything. Unfortunately, I can't show you them today because, well, lost to time. But this easily makes the #1 spot because it was a full movie that was never filmed and barely even started. Still, it's forgotten simply because, again, people who were working at it at the time aren't really active, or at least not active in my group to this day. I'm sure a few people's friends especially remember it, but without a doubt, the Minecraft Undertale crossover movie is the most forgotten piece of Mega Mastermind media ever. And that was my list. I sounded kind of ominous, or at least mysterious, as on purpose, simply because to set the mood, and my throat hurts because, again, I'm sick. But anyway, to those of you who'd stuck with me, thank you so much for 4 years of support, and as I've said before, I wouldn't be where I am today without this small little channel of mine. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, follow my socials, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be another Minecraft video because I do have something planned. Alright, I'll see you gamers later.